Hello, Sanbonani, Dumelang Mulweni. Welcome to Asathi Reviews. My name is Asathi Nzelu, and in this video, I'll be doing a film review of the movie Luckiest Girl Alive. The executive producers are Jessica Knoll, Mike Barker, Buddy Enright, Lisa Sterpakov, Shane Fiske-Goldner, and Julia Hermer. The director is Mike Barker. The writer is Jessica Knoll. The cinematographer is Colin Watkinson. The main characters are Mila Kunis as the old Tiffany, Chiara Aurelia as the young Tiffany, Alex Barone as the old Dean, Carson McCormack as the young Dean, and Thomas Babuska as Arthur Finman. I have decided to title the movie Victory is His. Luckiest Girl Alive is a story about an ambitious lady, Tiffany, whose efforts to run away from her past have been in vain. Tiffany has built a name for herself as a prominent journalist and even changed her first name to Annie in desperate attempts to free herself from her torturous past. But the universe constantly betrays her by leaving her susceptible to attacks by her memories and her rapist. As Tiffany is busy with the wedding preparations for her wedding to her Prince Charming, she keeps on getting flashbacks to the massacre that happened at her school, which she survived but is also suspected to have orchestrated. A local film director that is doing a documentary about the massacre offers Tiffany an opportunity to be part of it so that she can clear her name against the accusations made by her former classmate, Dean Barton, who is now a successful inspirational author. Tiffany refuses many times to do the documentary and expose Dean because she fears that she will not be believed by his massive fan base. Dean, on the other hand, has been unashamedly using the travesty to promote his new book. At a dinner with her fiance's acquaintance, Tiffany bumps into her high school teacher who tells her that he will be partaking in the documentary. Upon hearing this, Tiffany also decides that she will lend her time to the making of this documentary. During the making of the documentary, she had not been completely honest and she decides to withdraw her participation from the documentary when her conditions were not met. As a young girl, Tiffany got a writing scholarship that afforded her a place at a very prestigious private school. One day, Tiffany and her friends decided to leave the school party without permission and attend a private party at a classmate's house, Dan Barton's house. At the party, she is unintentionally raped by her boyfriend, Liam. She tried to get him off of her, but her efforts were in vain as Liam mistook her frail and powerless gesture for affection. As Tiffany was cleaning herself up, preparing to leave the party, Dean walked in on her and grabbed the opportunity to fulfill his sexual desires on Tiffany with both hands. Tiffany managed to summon strength and kicked him off of her, and she ran to the nearest store where she bumped into her teacher. She told her teacher everything about her being gang raped, but also refused to report it officially because she feared her mother. Dean had been quite notorious for bullying at school. He once defecated on the chest of one of Tiffany's friends, and the friend never reported it, just like Tiffany. Arthur, one of Tiffany's male friends, gets angry at how all of Dean's victims never have the guts to report him for his bullying. Arthur, in his anger, decides to take it upon himself to hold Dean accountable. One day, he goes to the school, guns blazing, literally, and his schoolmates drop down like flies as he shoots at everything in sight. Liam, Tiffany's boyfriend, got shot and died as he was running towards the door with Tiffany. Liam could not run properly as he was already shot in the leg, and Tiffany could have saved him had she held the door open for a few more seconds, but she decided to not risk her life to save her rapist. When Arthur, the shooter, had finally managed to corner Tiffany and Dean, he insulted Tiffany, calling her the girl with a noodle for a spine. He then gives the gun to Tiffany, instructing her to shoot Dean because he desperately wanted him to be punished for his sins. When Tiffany refuses to shoot Dean, Arthur gets angry, snatches the gun from her, and shoots Dean on the leg. Tiffany impulsively takes out the knife she had on her and slaughters Arthur, her friend, the mass shooter. From as early as the mass funerals, Dean started telling half-truths to people, turning the community against Tiffany as a way of shutting her up so that she can never talk of how he was one of the people that gang raped her. After the incident that occurred in the making of the documentary, Tiffany decided to write an essay detailing the events of that fateful day, but the editor rejected it, saying that it was not authentic and was protecting all the people that were not worthy of her protection. In her attempts to impress the editor and write a jaw-dropping tell-all essay, she tricked Dean into confessing on record that indeed he raped her. When the gripping essay was published, she received a lot of support from women telling their rape stories. But unfortunately, the person that mattered most, her fiancé, was displeased about the tainting of his role model's name. He felt that she could have handled it in a more dignified way and in private. In the midst of all this altercation, Tiffany and her fiancé decided to call off the wedding and go their separate ways to deal with their emotions properly. As she goes about her life, Tiffany is insulted and ambushed by a fan of Dean's work, but she does not take it lying down. She tells the fan to fuck off and walks away, salivating with pride at how she defended herself. This movie is intensely exhilarating. I highly recommend it to everyone because one, it confronts and tackles head on the complexities of the most controversial topics in the world, rape and consent. It gives the viewers both of the extreme scenarios of rape and also shows the limitless bounds to which a rapist will go to justify his abominable act and silence his victims. 2. It educates the viewer that consent can be withdrawn at any given moment. 3. It encourages parents to ensure that they are a safe space for their children so that if things such as rape do happen, then they will not hesitate to report it to them and to the authorities. And 4. It encourages aspiring writers to write as though no one will read because that will ensure authenticity. Thank you so much for watching this film review. My name is Asathi, and please do like, subscribe and comment down below under the hashtag Asathi Reviews.